Should you back the Queen's new capital? Yes, and this is one that I'm also adding to my collection too. But let me tell you why, because my name is Sam, this is Should You Back It, and I'm here to help you crowdfund with confidence. The Queen's New Capital is a deck and city building board game for 1 to 4 players that'll take 60 to 90 minutes to play. The game will cost you £41 without VAT or shipping, and it estimates to be in your hands by June 2024. Now this is the first game and campaign by Rodrigo Esper, and before I go any further I should state that I got my hands on a prototype for this game, and the fact that I've been able to play this a number of times now not only has greatly informed my decision on whether or not you should back it due to the fact that I've actually played it, it equally means that there'll be some insights I have in this video that I wouldn't normally have the opportunity to have. But with that in mind, let's do a risk assessment on this project. You see, whenever we back something on Kickstarter or any crowdfunding platform for that matter, it's always important to do some research on the company to see how their past projects went, see how they handled everything, just to get a sense of what our experience could be as a backer. As I've said, this is Rodrigo's first campaign, but that doesn't mean he hasn't put time, effort, and preparation into this before launching. Queen's New Capital has been play tested quite rigorously. As someone who has played the game, this shows. Equally though, the campaign has a lot of common sense signals about it. The campaign goal is just shy of £10,000, which is a sensible amount to ensure that production and manufacturing of the game can be completed. And what I equally really love is that there is one pledge tier and that's it. Yes, there are stretch goals, but there's a sense of no nonsense-ness that I get when I see a campaign that is just straight to the point with what they're offering. With all of that in mind, and with the fact that the game development is complete as far as I've been made aware, and with the fact that the components for this game are relatively straightforward given its cards and cardboard aside from some of the stretch goals, I'd give this project an amber rating. We always take on some form of risk with a first-time creator and on crowdfunding in general, but Rodrigo seems to have put enough time and effort into this project in order to instill a sense of confidence that you'll receive it in good time. So let's talk about gameplay. In Queen's New Capital, you are racing to craft the most efficient point engine, and you'll face some challenges and tough choices along the way due to the game's deck building system and a semi-cooperative crisis phase that exists in the game. Now, if you've watched this channel for any length of time, you may know that I'm not a fan of deck building games whatsoever, but I loved this. And I've played about 6 sessions of it so far with varying player counts, each one feeling vastly different than the last. You see, each player starts with the same starter deck as a bit of a level playing field. You'll choose a mission card, which will be the scenario you're playing that session, and it will stipulate winning conditions, some additional rules, and some other things as well. At the start of each round, you draw 6 cards from your deck, and throughout that round, you'll choose 4 of them to play. All the while, you are trying to build a multifaceted points engine that will generate resources, and you do that by building structures. You build structures by playing cards. But here's the thing, you have 4 cards to play. There are a lot of choices to make just with that, but at the end of the round, you enter the crisis phase. See, you're all vassals in a larger kingdom, and the monarch needs your support in order to keep the peace. And so you need to use your military might to keep rebellions down in your province and lend your diplomatic support to keep the wider peace. You do this by playing cards too, and at the end of the round, they're all tallied up. The might score is something that all players must reach individually. The diplomatic score is a combined tally among all players. Fail either of these and a rebellion pops up in one of your structures, meaning that you can no longer score the points you normally would from it, which can be devastating. What happens with this, especially in the early rounds, is that you can get so bogged down in trying not to fail this that you forget to actually take risks in playing cards to grow your structures and get leaders that will help you buff your actions. It creates a very interesting cat and mouse-like dynamic in the game where you're constantly weighing up risk and reward, or you can do what I did in one game and purposefully not contribute to these tests, knowing that your fellow players will be forced to use their cards to pick up the slack, giving you a chance to steam ahead. And no, I was not very well liked for using that strategy. This is a game that feels like it has a lot of meat on its bones, and I love it. The prototype has very quickly become one of my favorite games, which I'm aware is easy for me to say given the fact that I've actually played it, and I'm in essence just asking for your blind trust in that. What I would say is what I say anytime we come across a fresh creator who has a solid idea on Kickstarter. I think this game is worth us as a community taking a try on. If this is the first game out of the gate for Rodrigo, then I can't wait to see what else he's got coming down the pipeline. And even though I have a prototype copy, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm backing this to support Rodrigo and get the finished version of the game into my collection, especially with all the shiny little stretch goals he's added too. Even before Rodrigo added the shiny stretch goal components, the base components for this game were of great quality. There's a high degree of replayability, and it plays very differently at different player counts. For me, so far my favourite has been 3 players, by the way, as it really opens up some more interesting gameplay choices. The only thing that may put some people off this game is the fact that Rodrigo has used AI to create the card art. I understand why he's done that, I respect the choice that he's made in that, but I also respect the fact that not everyone will agree with that, and that's okay. As always though, this is just my recommendation, but hopefully you feel a bit more informed. If you have found it helpful, I'd love if you could subscribe. I'm a new channel trying to cover the games I think you're interested in, and your support really does help.